Just take a look at this massive, absolutely insane machine. No, this isn't Photoshop. This is a tactical tree destroyer. Its only job? To crush the jungle flat. But as it often happens with crazy ideas, something went wrong. Today we're going to find out exactly what this monster is, where it was used, and why, in the end, the military abandoned it. To understand where this beast came from, you need to know the name of the manufacturer, LeTourneau. This American company was famous all over the world. They built the biggest, most incredible machines on the planet. For them, building a giant land train or an earth mover the size of a 3-story house was just another Tuesday. So at the height of the Vietnam War in 1967, the US Army came to them with a problem. The problem was the jungle, dense and impassable. It served as perfect cover for the enemy, and the Army needed clear paths. LeTourneau's solution was classic. They didn't want to cut trees neatly. They decided to build something huge and just knock everything down. That is how the LeTourneau G68 was born. Let's take a look under the hood of this monster. And trust me, there was a lot to see. First, the weight. Sources cite figures between 77 and 90 tons. To give you a comparison, that is the weight of 2 M48 Patton tanks combined. And those tanks were the heavy hitters of that era. Second, the engines. This giant used 2 diesel V8 engines from Detroit Diesel, specifically the model 8W71N. The total power output, more than 630 horsepower. But the most interesting part is the transmission. It didn't have a classic gearbox. LeTourneau were pioneers of the diesel-electric drive. The diesels spun generators, and those generators powered 3 massive electric motors. There was 1 motor in the hub of each wheel. Yes, all 3 wheels were driven. Now, about those wheels. They aren't tires. They are 3 steel rollers. They were covered in giant steel cleats for grip. Inside, the wheels were filled with foam. This meant they couldn't be punctured by mines or sharp wooden stakes. Up front, it had a massive push bar. On top, there was an armored cab for the operator. The principle was simple. The machine drove forward, the bar pushed the trees over, and the 3-meter steel rollers instantly turned them into splinters. On paper and on the testing grounds in the US, everything looked terrifyingly effective. The G68 could clear land very fast, much faster than ordinary bulldozers. But Vietnam isn't a testing ground. Problem number 1, and the biggest one, was mud. The machine simply sank. Imagine 90 tons of weight resting on just 3 wheels. This created colossal ground pressure. The wet, swampy soil of Vietnam just couldn't support this monster. The machine couldn't swim. It only knew how to sink, even though, in theory, it was supposed to cross both land and shallow water. Problem number 2, vulnerability. This unit was slow, and it was incredibly loud. Just imagine the roar of 2 massive diesels. The machine was essentially a perfect giant target. The cabin armor could protect the operator from small arms fire, but against an RPG or a high explosive charge, it had no chance. In the end, these tree crushers spent most of their time doing nothing, just waiting to be pulled out of the next mud trap. The Army quickly realized this was a dead end. They bet on a simpler but more effective solution: armored Caterpillar bulldozers known as Rome plows. They were lighter, more maneuverable, and handled the Vietnam mud much better. Were these machines purely military? The answer is no. In fact, the US Army didn't even buy these machines. They rented them from the LeTourneau company. The very idea of the tree crusher was born for the civilian market. They planned to use them in the logging industry and for land clearing, preparing sites for construction or agriculture. And yes, this machine has civilian relatives. So the military career of the G68 didn't work out. But the idea of a forest roller with such strange wheels actually found a rare niche in peaceful life. The LeTourneau G68 became a monument to engineering ambition in brute force. The idea was that the jungle itself would step aside for this monster. But the engineers forgot about the greatest force of all, nature. And so it remains in history, an impressive but useless mechanism. What other insane giant machines do you know of? The ones that turned out to be total failures? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please rate it after watching. It's really important for us.